As I sit here with my cup of coffee, I look to my left, and this is another blessing that we have added to our home place. But it's also a great reminder of where we've been and where we are today. Hey y'all, it's Lippy. I hope the sun's not too bright for y'all. It feels really good to me. But this is gonna be a little bit different of a video. I came out with my cup of coffee. It's been a busy Monday. A lot of orders, thank y'all. And as I was walking around, making sure everything was okay, I do this in the mornings with my morning coffee and in the afternoon, because I need this reminder. As I'm sure many of y'all can relate. We started the video off showing my greenhouse. And I know I'm as guilty as some of you new ones at the channel. But I will join a channel and I start watching from current moving forward. Very seldom do I go back in time. So, as I said, I can relate to some of you new ones. And I've seen some comments the last couple of days with the greenhouse, with my 32-gallon water catchment. And I want to give y'all a little bit of back history, but I'm also going to plug a video. Now, I don't know how to save a video, so the video clarity is going to be Lippy-fied, because I literally put it on the television and I recorded from my phone. And I know all you tech people are going, that's the only way I know how to do it, y'all. Yeah, I'm going to keep it real. I stood there and I held my phone, went to recording. So this clip we're leading up to, it's not going to be the best picture, but it will set the platform, if you will, and the topic for what I want to share with y'all. So we have the greenhouse. We have a water catchment, and it rained last night. And I got like a half a barrel because it was sporadic. But we're going to go ahead and move to this video. That video was taken April 26th of 2020. 3 days after the event. I think it was April 26th. Don't quote me. The event was April 24th. So it could have been the 25th. I know it was a following day. Anyway, that's where we're fixing to revisit. And then we're going to come back and we're going to talk just a little bit about it. And I hope that this gives y'all some encouragement. And then we'll talk about what's happening towards the end of the week. So here you go. Enjoy this clip. I did my best. Grab you a cup of coffee and then come on back. We got some things to talk about. I told you it wasn't the best video, but it gave the example of what I wanted to share with you guys. On April 24th of 2020, now let me back up. It was May of 2019, that the first storm came and took my greenhouse and just flipped it. We quickly learned to put 3-foot rebarb. So the greenhouse that you just saw in that video clip was my greenhouse. I was selling plants. I had 1,500 tomato plants sitting in that greenhouse. And they just got scattered. But the greenhouse frame remained, but the outside was just cratered, because this was golf ball size hail, 83-mile-per-hour winds, major damage to the property, major damage to our home. It took over 4 months to put a 40-foot brick wall back. But in that moment, a lot of emotions run through you. And this comes on just the heels of last night in Norman, Oklahoma. Many people have suffered way worse than what we did. Some less than what we did. But we have one thing in common. We can't control Mother Nature. But looking back and looking at where we are today, and I saw them blue buckets that was in that clip. Y'all, we actually took those blue buckets that could be duct taped and salvaged to Kentucky with us, and I actually had a garden the summer of 2021. And of course, we moved back home that fall of 21. But in these almost 3 years approaching us, we've been able to rebuild our lives back home in Louisiana. I just got another greenhouse. I have a water catchment. It's 32 gallons. I left a 200 gallon. But the point is, we are slowly replacing what we lost. And it's not about the size. 232 gallon. Point is, we are rebuilding ourselves. And looking back at that tells me, again, it reaffirms that I am very resilient. Buddy is very resilient. You are very resilient. So although we didn't mold into our new place and immediately start gardening and immediately start adding things for gardening, we put our money, blood, sweat, and tears into our home, and we're still not finished with that. So our priorities will always be our home first. That's just how Buddy and I are molded. But the video is not about that. The video is talking about the season that's facing us, many of us. In particular, this Thursday. I believe that's gonna fall on, let me get the 2nd of March. I believe that's the 2nd of March. They've been following this for about a week. But as of today, it's looking more and more like, yeah, pretty nasty storms, tornadic. It's almost starting to look like the perfect storm, if you will. No storm is perfect. It's only perfect when it doesn't happen. But there again, it could happen to one of you, or even a stranger we don't even know. We can't control that. But what we have to do now is we have to rethink. We wanted the greenhouse to sit. Last night, he stretched it. Today, he was going to stretch it. We can't let it just sit. So now we have to stake it down. Now, he won't be using the wood, as he explained, on the inside. Not right now. What we want to do right now is run the rebarb, put the T-post, and get it just as tight, down in the ground as we can. I do have those green tarps. I will be covering all my little plants, my potatoes, the strawberries. What do I have? The green onions, the garlic, and also the the sweet onions that we just planted. So there's a lot that I got to pull back out, and that's okay. But, you know, I look around, the sky is beautiful, it seems so calm, and yet at a blink of an eye, it can all be gone, you know? But as long as we're safe, everything else is replaceable. May not be on our time, it's on God's time. When He sees the time is right, He will bless us as we are being blessed every day here. So a little and a little along the way, we will rebuild our garden, our water catchment, and a flourish of beds if it's in God's will. But we have faith that it will be. So I tell you young gardeners, it's all right to have a 5-gallon bucket of just a tomato. And I've said this throughout my almost 4 years of YouTube. But I've got to repeat myself again because I have some young ones. And I have some older ones that just informed me in the last couple of months they're gardening again, or it's their first time to start gardening. Don't compare. I am thrilled that I have 32 gallons of rainwater. Why? Because He spared my life on April 24th of 2020. Y'all, my phone cut off. It said dead. And I don't remember where I was. I honestly don't. Boy, it sucks to get old. So, we'll just turn the page and just start visiting again. I have no clue where I was. All of a sudden, the phone just said, oop. I said, oh, Lord. So I got the extension cord, plugged it in. We still have the extension cord, remember, to the hot box. But I was going to take y'all in the kitchen and let y'all cook supper with me. So I guess we can do that. Because I forgot what I was saying. But I know where I was going in it. Where I was going in this conversation was to say, whether it's in a large scale or a small scale, whether you're a new gardener, whether you're an old gardener, if something fails or something is taken away and spares you, it'll come again. It will come again. And that's okay. You're not in a race with anyone. You're doing the best that you can do in the situation that you're in that moment. And I smile when I say that. I mean, I don't cry when I look back at that. I don't cry. I don't get a heavy heart. What I get is a peace of mind that we were spared. And everything at the end of the day is just materials. So if someone says, well, you really need more of a water catchment than that, then I would say, but at least I have something. Something is better than nothing. And that's how I want y'all to look at this. The greenhouse. I mean, it was $208. I'm not expecting it to last me 10 years. But I know as long as that frame stays in the ground and it's good, we can put another cover on it. But there again, that was in our budget. It's going to work for us, for our needs. And let's pray that it's still standing white, shiny, and bright after these storms coming at us at the end of the week. So I'm going to finish my coffee. Y'all stay with me. We're going to do, and I know I've probably done this video before, so we'll do it fast. But yeah, I wanted to turn the camera on and just share where my mind was out here looking. And to share that I can smile about it. life is good. Just stop and smell the roses, as an old saying goes. Look at your rose and look to your left at a rose garden and say, if it's in His will and my desire, then I will have that rose garden. If it's not in His will, then I will relish and appreciate my rose. So, let's go into the kitchen. We're going to go over this real fast, and I will have the batter and the sauce recipe down in the description. But we're going to start with a pound of cooked noodles. This is just spaghetti noodles. A pound of shrimp that's been deveined and shelled. You can use diced chicken. That's going to be our batter. That is our sauce. Simple seasoning, lemon pepper, red pepper, a little bit of sesame oil. I have a large head of blanched broccoli that I blanched, dropped into ice water to stop the cooking but retain the green color. Got about a cup of grated carrots, a large sweet onion that's largely diced. Now this is going to be to your palate. A large red bell pepper, largely diced, and a large green bell pepper. To this cast iron pot, I've got about 1.5 inches, maybe 2 inches of oil. Now this is a high heat oil. This is peanut oil. You can use any oil. This is for the shrimp. While the oil is heating up, I have placed my shrimp in that batter. And like I said, the batter recipe as well as the sauce will be in the description. This is basically, we're going to dump and go. Quick, quick, quick. But yes, please do your noodles ahead of time and let them sit. Now they may seem a little bit sticky, but your sauce will stick to them and we'll reheat those because that's the last thing that goes in. All right, I'm just tossing my shrimp in the batter. That is it. And now we're gonna move to the stove. I'm gonna do it one pot. I'm draining that oil out of that iron skillet and we're gonna go back in and cook the lo mein. I ain't got time for a bunch of dirty dishes. We're at 350. That's the sweet spot. Now being very, very careful with this shrimp. Now this is not a big thick batter now. It's almost similar to like a tempura batter. All right, we're gonna do one. You don't wanna overcrowd. I'm sitting on a number 8. Now you're only talking 3 to 4 minutes. Ooh, I should have my splatter guard. I'm gonna have a dirty stove. And just like that, the first batch is done. You don't want to overcook that shrimp. Shrimp is done. I'm putting about a tablespoon of butter. Now, you can omit this sesame oil. Go light-handed. This is strictly for a little flavor. Whoa. And that's all I'm doing. Maybe 1/8 of a teaspoon. We're going to add our vegetables. With my stove sitting on a number 6, I'm going to start getting these coated with the butter and that little bit of sesame oil. We want to get these tender, but we like to still have a little bit of bite. So you don't want too high of a heat. Now I will be adding a little bit of salt. I do want to pull some moisture out of these vegetables. And how about a little bit of black pepper, just for good measure. Now I'm gonna let these go a good 5 to 7 minutes. I want them tender. Now if you feel like that your pot's getting dry, you can add a little bit of olive oil. It's been going maybe 3 minutes. I'm gonna add a little bit of lemon pepper. Now you'll see in the recipe of the batter as well as this sauce, there's a lot of seasoning in that. So I'm not, oh, I almost shook that. I just want a pinch. Now the red pepper flakes is to taste. But using the lemon pepper, to me, it brightens it up. But there again, you can omit the seasonings that you don't like or your family. But you'll get the baseline for the recipe. These have been going about 10 minutes. So you have to make the determination how tender or crunchy you want. These are almost where we like them, but I want to get a little bit more tenderness on the green bells. Probably another 3 or 4 minutes because I did put my heat down to about a 4 and I'm taking my time. Okay, they are exactly where I want them. I'm going to turn my heat up about a 5.5. And now we add that beautiful broccoli. Now we're going to add the sauce. Now I may not need all them noodles. That's okay. I will freeze what I don't use. We're going to start right there. Now I'm going to switch a minute. Because they will soften up when that sauce hits them. And I should have made more sauce. But I think we're going to be okay. We don't want ours soaking in sauce, but we want plenty of sauce. Oh, I think we're going to be just fine. Back in with this beautiful shrimp. And yes, I did have to sample a shrimp. You know, that's quality control. I tell y'all all the time. I got to do that quality control. Look at this big pot of goodness. Now, this is leftovers for work tomorrow. I transferred it to my serving dish as well as the dish that's going to go in the refrigerator. Y'all look at that. I might have should have went with fettuccine. That's what we normally have. But the spaghetti box was kind of open. So I said, well, I need to finish using it. It's hard to chase these noodles now with this fork. Here goes. We're going to sample noodles first. Make sure that flavor's in there. Yeah, I'm eating noodles on camera. The right amount of flavor. The noodles did absorb it. Wow. We're going to go in with a shrimp. Remember, I just sampled the shrimp. Now I need to sample it with all that flavor. People. Oh, people. People. There's no words. It's better each time I make it. I don't know what I do different. I do the same thing. Or it's because I keep it spread out. Oh my word. The vegetables, tender but still got that little bite. Carrots are perfectly tender. Make sure you grate those carrots. It don't get no better, y'all. And like I said, you don't want seafood, do small bite-size chicken. Do like a breast. But you want them small bite-size so they fry up fast and they don't dry out on you. I have tried it with dark meat. It don't work. I don't know what it is. And I love dark meat. It just doesn't work. So here you go. If y'all seen me do it in the past, I think I have. Well, you just watched me again. But the video was really about just fellowshipping and just being a friend and reminding y'all that you're going to be okay. We're all going to be okay if it's in His will. And do not ever question the volume of what you have, what you're growing. Don't ever question it. So, as always, stay safe, stay well, and God bless. And I will see you on the next one. Bye, y'all.